Morning, folks. Jeff from RV Diagnostics. August the 15th, something like that, 2022. All right, so got another one in the shops, a GM Workhorse, the old famous, I believe, 8.1 liter, 454 to 492. Well, it's a big old V8, okay? Torque monster, we used to call them. Has check engine light on, right? And trust me, when I run it, that stays on. So this is key on, engine off. So we're going to hook this scanner up. It's a snap-on, but you can basically do it with generic, but we'll do it on the manufacturer side. It's a Workhorse chassis, 2004. Okay. And it's a Winnebago Adventurer. So we'll go down to 2004. And it's the 8.1 sequential fuel injection, SFI, L18. Just remember L18, 8.1 backwards. It's VIN code 8. Okay. So remember, 8th digit's like an 8-cylinder engine, 10th digit is like a 10-year-old car. So we're going to go in. There's your pertinent information, vehicle identification, VIN, GM4 vehicle, 2004 8.1 V8, sequential fuel injection, L18. Remember, it's opposite of 8.1, L18. Okay, so yes, we're going to hit OK. We're going to do powertrain codes. It is a 4-speed automatic. Some of them came with the 6-speed automatic, heavy duty Allison engine. All right, so we're going to do codes. All right, first we're going to display the codes. Then we'll go down to freeze frame. Okay, all powertrain code. Don't matter if it's history, failed this ignition. That means when I turned that key on. All right. Service message, last test failed since code cleared. All right, so let's do all of them. What we found was a P0332 knock sensor 2 signal short low. Well, on this engine, the driver's side is bank 1, which would be sensor 1, knock sensor. Bank 2 is passenger side. Ford's the opposite. So what we got here is basically the knock sensor signal is shorted straight to ground. That's what it's saying. How these work is the knock sensor, key on, engine off, receives a 5-volt signal from the computer, and there's a resistor built into the knock sensor, little quartz thing, piezoelectric, and it's in parallel. This is for the people that really want to learn it. If not, it's just a knock sensor, and you should have about 2.5 volts DC down there sitting at it. So it's seeing 0. All right, so we're going to have to prove that. So that's the code. And on this one, I can hit the little save button right here, little memory, right? All right. So put you on hold. I'm going to go back through some screens. All right, back. So a lot of you can access this thing called freeze frame in your OBD2 side. All right, so we're going to hit that. It's going to tell me what some of the readings were. All right, I just happen to know GM. I don't think it'll tell me. All right, so it's that code. If it was 2 or 3, it would come up. All right, P0332, knock sensor 2, signal short or low. All right. And we're going to wait. Now, there it is. The loop status was cold. That meant closed. That means it was in fuel control. All right. And then mileage since last failure, 46 miles. Failure counter, not applicable. Pass counter, not applicable. Run, not applicable. Engine speed was about 1900 RPM. Desired idle RPM, 680. There's a little bit of information in here that we can use. Coolant got up to about 197. Startup, that means he started up at 86. APP average, that's your pedal. All right, what I'm looking for is some knock sensor signals. Map, everything looks good. Voltages, fuel trim, all right, it was 0. Long term, you had 8, 8 and 8, that's pretty good. Long term, it stays in there till it's fixed. When that gets up around 10, the long-term fuel trim, that's when I start worrying about things, all right? Start checking. It's getting there. All right, so I'm looking. I don't see. All right, he was doing 27 mile an hour when this happened. He ran about 7 minutes. All right, so I don't see what I need, so I'm going to back out of here, put you on pause. All right, we're back. The closest I came out of several data groups is this knock retard. All right, and that's an output. And what that does, that goes to the ignition and retards it. I want to see the knock sensor key on engine off voltage. I went to all these datas: accelerator, accessory, electrical, and theft data. I went to engine data, throttle, accelerator control, sensor data, evap, misfire, and I could not see the actual knock sensor. So this is back to the old school where we got to get down there with a multimeter, possibly an oscilloscope. We'll do a key on engine off check. I'll bring up a wiring diagram. So this will be video 1. Okay. Well, I'm going to show you 2 now. Put you on pause. We'll bring it up. I have the ability to do with GM. You have the freeze frame, which I showed you. That means what happened when the code was set, a little bit before and a little bit after. What sensors they let you see. The other one is, you see that? My left hand was shaking. So the next one was this little important thing I'm going to show you. Let's see, put you on pause. Okay, so we're back. If your scanner has this called DT, Diagnostic Test Code Status, pretty neat to do. You highlight that, and then you go in and put the code in, which is P0, and then we go down 3. No, messed that up. All right, that's 0. Go back up. 0. Now it's 3, 3, 2, which is the code. Now we hit OK. All right, so this ignition cycle was not run. Since cleared, it failed. Last test failed. It's in history. Mill or service required. Malfunction indicator lamp, the orange yellow engine one. That's a neat little thing right there. DTC status, if your scanner has it. All right, thank you. This is Jeff from RV Diagnostics. I'll pull the wiring diagram in video 2. We'll get down there with a multimeter. Maybe have to go to the level of a 4-channel lab scope, which I have, but we'll keep it basic first. Key on engine off should have about 2.5 volts going to each knock sensor. The most common problem is the knock sensor. In the old days, it was down in the intake manifold well, the valley. But these are on the side of the block down below by the oil pan, one on each side of the cylinder head down on the bottom. So what was, look at that big old bee in here with me, guys. Anyway, it'll get over it. Anyway, so sometimes the tech puts the knock sensor in, doesn't use a torque wrench, believe it, or tightens it too much, and that'll mess up a knock sensor, brand new one. So that's just something to think about. What's the motto here? Test, not guess. And safe travels, and may I see you. Safe travels till I see you again, whether it be on the road at the fueling station for gas or diesel, or at a campground, or traveling somewhere, even here at the garage at the school. Thank you very much. I'm out of here.